Thanks for clicking today's Dreaded D-Rose report. And in recent years, I know you've noticed this, that generally, WWE kind of shies away from spotlighting wrestlers that's died to, drug-related causes because they don't want to attract negative attention or anything to, the product, of course. That's not the case today. As an officially on the website of WWE, they've added, believe it or not, Test. Test passed away March 13th. 2009 at only the age of 33 years old as a result of an overdose of oxycodone. And they added him to their alumni section. And WWE has mentioned that he's a six-time title holder. He's best remembered as a superstar who nearly married Stephanie McMahon before Triple H ruined the plans. But there's very much more to Test, they said, that disastrous night at the altar. A deceptively agile man who can knock opponents off with a boot to the face or an elbow drop from the top rope. Test claims pinfall victories over major competitors including Edge, Undertaker, The Rock, while collecting multiple single titles and tag titles. The death of Test, of course, it's not acknowledged at all on that page. But they said his final stint with WWE for the relaunch of ECW brand in 2006 and 7 branded as an exclamatory ending to Test's career and lasting proof that he was something far more than just a jilted groom. I'm glad they're acknowledging people like that, and I think they're trying to get their little feet in the water to see how if they get any response from the media or blowback, from bringing up things like that. But I don't think they will, and I hope they don't, because they need to acknowledge everybody that's ever busted their ass in WWE somehow, still today. Card for this is going to. I'd like to see this. Tommy Dreamer's June 22nd House of Hardcore event from Philadelphia is coming together. Matches confirmed right now for the show is including, of course, Tommy Dreamer with Terry Funk, and they're going to be taking on Lance Storm. Two Cold Scorpios going to take on John Morrison, Paul London, Brian Kendricks, together again. And this will be the heck of a match too. They're taking on the Young Bucks. Tony Nese taking on P.D. Williams, and Alex Reynolds is three-way dance or whatever you want to call it there. Other stars set to appear is going to be Ric Flair, MVP. It says here the Steiners. Carlito, Crowbar, Rosita, Maria Kanellis, Mike Bennett, Lil Guido, and Danny Doring, and more. Hell of a show. Hope everybody shows up. Natalya was at WWE Developmental last week filming for the Total Divas show. I haven't heard the start time on that yet. And her father, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, was working out with her there. Sounds creepy, but I guess what works, works. WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair, he announced he's going to be appearing for an autograph signing at the Hollywood show taking place July 13th at the Westin Los Angeles Airport. The official website of WWE has published a photo gallery entitled The Many Faces of A.J. Lee. There's only one, but they're just in different positions, I guess. WWE explains that just one of A.J. Lee's face is worth 1,000 words. Take in depth look at the Divas division, emotional chameleon, with the exclusive photo gallery of A.J. and many, many revealing facial expressions. You can do that with the fans too, certain matches. Following Terrell's dramatic performance at the last Knockout Standing match this past Sunday at Slammiversary, TNA executive producer Eric Bischoff offered an in-ring endorsement for the New Orleans native. He wrote on Twitter on Monday, fan of Terrell, one of the best acquisitions to the talent roster in the last year. Heart, passion, charisma, skill, and commitment. And here they has used her for a referee for a long time. In Shark Boy's return to TNA, he lost to Robbie E on this week's episode of TNA Explosion on Challenge, which we don't get over here. It's over in the UK. And WWE signed Missouri independent wrestler Ryan Drago to a developmental deal. He's confirmed the signing at a June 1st Metro Pro Wrestling event in Kansas City. Drago was originally trained by Hall of Famer Harley Race. And noted before, Natalya and Tamina was taped on Monday to air on this week's WWE Superstars. And there was some concern after the match that Snuka may have suffered a concussion. No word yet on how she's doing, so we'll hope for the best. WWE developmental talent Richie Steamboat is undergoing back surgery. Dr. Joseph Maroon in Pittsburgh soon. He's been out of action for months with back problems. And there's been a lot of concern over whether he will or will not be able to wrestle again with the surgery. It's going to take months before he can get back in action. Yep, that's his son. Noted before, on last Monday's Raw, it was rewritten several times from Friday until a few hours before the show began, with the script was actually still being written as Raw was even going on. Talk about cutting things close. And WWE is going to be holding a tryout camp soon with about 15 amateur wrestlers that Gerald Briscoe has been scouting. Canyon Seaman, a Triple H hire, has also been scouting Olympic athletes in Colorado Springs. Jack Swagger, he, I guess, will be able to return from his hand injury at the end of this month, but there's restrictions on how he can use it, and he was going to be careful, if they have him do anything in the ring. Word from WWE is that Swagger will have full clearance to wrestle late August. And Batista, he replied to a fan about not going to TNA. He says, BS, my friend. Said it before, I'll say it again. I believe WWE wouldn't want to be anywhere else, and I've had plenty of offers. WWE also commented on WWE's superstar Titus O'Neil, believe it or not. In a recent interview, he said Titus credited Batista with why he's in pro wrestling. A fan on Twitter asked Batista if it's true that he and Titus O'Neil's neighbor, and if it's true, how he got to join WWE. Batista replied, I didn't make him, I just encouraged him. He said, I love the dude and he deserves huge success. He's a hard worker. And happy birthday to former WWF wrestler Ted Arsini, 55 years old, independent star, Too Tough Tony, 39 years old. One-time WWE Intercontinental and Tag Champion Drew McIntyre, 28. One-time WWF Intercontinental Champion. Remember Ahmed Johnson, 43 years old. Three-time TNA Knockout Champion ODB, 35 years old. And this would have been the birthday of former NWA star Rip Hawk, would have been 83. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.